Hey guys, it's your boy, Young Philosopher for Hot Take. I'm with Jacob Pastelacqua, a young existentialist, and we are discussing the show Dexter and whether he's acting in good faith, bad faith, and kind of what excellent existentialist philosophies that he really exemplifies, throughout the show. Hey Jacob, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, JJ. Let's get this started.
All right, so Dexter, good faith or bad faith?
I believe he's acting completely and totally in good faith. He's in complete acknowledgement of the existential situation in which he resides and of the sort of man that he is and the reason why he is that man.
But he hides how he is in public.
But he's in full acknowledgement of that. If we go into the Sartrean idea of the self and how we affect our own actions and how our actions affect us, despite the fact that he's hiding himself behind a wall because of societal rules, he himself is living this life because he embraces it. He embraces it as the result of his father.
But he bows down to what society tells him.
It's different. There's a difference between bowing down to what society tells you and sculpting yourself in a way that you see fit. Now, when we look at Dexter, we have to look at both him and especially the relationship he had with his father. His father turned him into this sort of, I guess you could call him a righteous serial killer. Now, that is exactly what makes Dexter a good faith character, because he was not forced into this life. It was something that he cultivated in and of himself.
But he literally talks about how he needs a vacation from the normal life with other people. So he needs the vacation from being in bad faith. Am I wrong?
Hold on now, JJ. Are you saying that by the very nature of everyone around us living in a society, by that very nature, at some point we're all going to need a vacation from the people around us? That even comes up in Sartre's No Exit. Our own torture is being around people we love. And so, I just do not think that is a valid point for that reason.
But he literally, in a quote that comes out of his mouth, he says, people fake a lot of human interactions, but I feel like I fake them all, and I fake them very well. He says, that's just my burden, I guess.
Well, let me ask you, JJ. If he acknowledges the fakeness of humanity, then how can you possibly call him fake? To live in bad faith is to not acknowledge the absurdity of everyday life in a human society.
I think he acknowledges the absurdity, but when it comes down to it, his life isn't fake, or it's just so fake, it's not real. When he looks at his sister and lies to her and hides everything from her, he doesn't tell her what's going on. He fakes it. Everything he does, it's fake.
Does he need to tell her? Existentialism, at least as Sartre put it, is the most individualistic of all moral philosophies. And so, you don't have to profess your life and your actions to others. Just by virtue of you taking those actions, you've made a statement for the rest of society, as Sartre has told us. And so, I don't see how his interactions with his sister have to do with his bad faith.
But if he's really taking responsibility for his actions, he's murdered countless people. So if he's taking responsibility, why isn't he turning himself in? Why isn't he telling other people?
Well, because he doesn't find it morally wrong. Now, anytime that you do something that you consider to be morally right or neutral, do you go around telling everybody about it? Do you go and actively get yourself punished for doing something that you believe is right or something you believe is necessary?
But does he really think that it's morally right?
Morally right, I don't know. What I do know is that he believes it's necessary, and while the rest of society obviously does not believe that kind of murder is, he does, which itself is another example of his good faith.
I don't know. He even says, sometimes it's reassuring to know that I'm not the only one pretending to be normal. He truly is pretending, but, I just can't get over this fact. The morality, it doesn't matter. It's just that he's fake. I just can't get over it. Ugh!
But JJ, at its very center, he is not a fake, because despite the act that he puts on, at his core, he is true to himself in, his murder, but that is nonetheless true to what he believes he is.
All right, you know what? I'm done with this conversation. All right, something we can, kind of concur with each other on is that he is really pro-Kierkegaard. He is existentialist, I guess, in that scope. Kierkegaard talks about how a crowd is, in its nature, untrue. And, I mean, when Dexter walks into a bar, everyone else is having fun, and he looks at them and says, you guys are all living fake lives. He realizes that these masses are not actually true, and he calls them out for that. But he just doesn't do it in public. He does it to himself. What do you think about that?
I think that, yes, we can completely agree on the fact that he does share an exceptional amount of ideological similarity with Kierkegaard. He's the ultimate individualist. Mm-hmm. If you see some of the monologues in his head from the show, you can see a lot of focus at disdain. I'm sorry. At disdain for the crowd, for crowd thought, which is strange, especially since he lives in Miami, the height of height of party life.
Exactly. Yeah. And honestly, I hate to admit it, you might have convinced me. I do think he is a little existential, because now that I'm looking at it, he aligns with Dostoevsky a little bit as well. How he is kind of a lonely boy, not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
And he doesn't really believe in transcendence. It's just kind of survival, and that might be the reason just for his, moments of bad faith. It's just for survival, and he just recognizes that life cannot actually be perfect.
I'm glad I could convince you of something today.
You know what? I'll be damned, Jacob. Good job. Hey, thank you for being on my radio show.
For sure, man, for sure.
All right, have a good one.
You too, man, you too.